What's up guys, welcome to another video. It is time for more Race Room. As promised in my last video, the ILMS video I think, said I was going to start a Race Room Championship, and this is that. So, as you can see, old cars. My favourite kind of cars. Big whack-off turbos, big whack-off V8s, just lots of power, rear-wheel drive, and that's about it. I actually did qualifying for the first time in quite a while. Managed to get third on the grid. Quite pleased with it. I mean, Monza, fairly simple track, and the Fabcar and the Corvette are a little bit overpowered around this circuit, to be honest, so not unexpected to be near the front. Don't expect me to be near the front for all the races, but these ones, yep, should be near the front. Nice selection of cars, although this Corvette must have had a bit of a hard time. And so have these. Right, never mind. Yeah, but top speed is the name of the game around the circuit, so the Silvia, the Skyline, and the BMW will be near the back of the grid. Like this BMW here of Terim, sorry. And now we get into the other cars that were a few seconds off the pace. I don't know what happened to this Corvette. Must have had serious issues, along with the Porsche of Gruber. I really wanted to drive the Silvia, but it is just far too slow. Well, while I'm at the wheel anyway. And that's it. That's the grid. It's gonna be a rolling start. Oh crap! I didn't realise it threw you straight into it. Glad I got some of that intro out of the way. Decided to go for the rolling start with these things because, well, turbo lag. Another guy on my right. So it is a 2-race format weekend. I'm not going to show you qualifying because that's just my practice essentially. The tyres and fuel are set to ×3, which I think may have been a slight mistake because this Fabcar only gets 7 laps worth of fuel. And it's a 20-minute race followed by a 30-minute race, both with mandatory pit stops, which lessens the issue of the fuel. Oh, I'm messing up now. But still, I do believe that the BMWs and all the smaller cars will have one less pit stop than the big boys at the front, which I kind of suppose makes things fairer. Oh, and I've locked the rears slightly. That's me getting a cut track warning. Hopefully not going to get too many of them. Ooh, Jesus. This is why I love these cars though. They're just purely difficult to drive. Please don't look down the inside. Oh, he's going to stick a nose in. Gotta give him a little bit of space. And then get on the power. Ooh. A little squirrely on exit there. Alright, slam on the brakes nice and early. Down the 4 gears that this thing has. And full throttle, now we get power, yep. Now we get power. Curva Grande is actually a corner in these cars. You do have to lift slightly, or feather the throttle. Because you will just understeer out wide. Oh, I've braked too late again. Yep, nice and sideways into the corner. I am not really focused. Oh, I'm not doing well at the moment. Turns out I cannot drive and talk at the same time, which is an issue. So if I am quiet for some time in this race, it is because this thing is an absolute beast, and I am having a tough time. Especially coming off driving the Audi R18, oh my god, I've run wide again, around this very circuit in the ILMS on iRacing. where you're braking a good 100 meters later than you are in this thing pretty much every corner. Like, braking just after the 200 meter board for this one, I was braking at about 100 meters in the Audi R18. Oh, on the throttle a little early. There we go, run it out wide over the curb, nice, nice, nice. Seem to have lost that Corvette ever so slightly. Almost getting up to the same speeds as the Audi, but the Audi I would be braking there, just after the 150 marker. And I'm braking just after the 300 marker in this thing. And come on, forward please, thank you. Right, so I'm not going to pit when the pit window opens, I'm going to be pitting basically when I run out of fuel. Which is actually why I've got the hood on, which I rarely do on RaceRoom. I've got that little hood down there, which you can see, because I need to be able to see how much fuel I've got. Because as I'm running in VR, quite hard to see the quite hard to see the dials. In fact, I don't even know if there's actually a fuel gauge on this thing. It might be over there. Oh, I've not learned. Oh, I got on the power a little bit much there. Avoid the gravel, avoid the gravel, avoid the gravel. All that time I gained on them two in front and pulled away from the Corvette I've just lost. I'll sit slightly in the middle of the road. A bit later on the brakes. I'll go defensive. I know that this thing is ever so slightly faster than the Corvette down the straights, but he does not have the turbo lagger which I have. So coming out of corners he is ever so slightly better. Or coming out of slow corners I should say. That's quite a nice first chicane there. See what I mean? This is what happens, it just washes out. Pit window is open soon. Oh, I forgot to rev match with them down into first, which is something you have to do. Nice and smooth on throttle there, that was quite nice. Yeah, this has been quite a good lap so far. The AI are set to 115. I was running 118. For some cars, I can't remember which ones. But I found these ones I've not quite mastered them yet, so I dropped it down to 116 and I was still a little off the pace, so I figured one more. I do love Parabolica in these things, or in this thing specifically. So I'm 3 seconds off the pace and just at the fastest lap of the race, pretty nice. Can probably brake a little bit later than that for this first chicane, but I don't want to risk it. Now that some of the fuel's burned off, I think that the braking zones are going to come a little bit shorter. Still got to slightly lift through this corner though, or feather the throttle at least. Oh, the Corvette in front's having issues. I'm also having issues. Forgetting to change gear. Oh, hello. Hello, brakes locking. What is that all about? Go forward, please. I'm very surprised the Corvette didn't make a move down the inside then. Oh, hello. Yeah, I think the rear tyres might be going a little bit, so move the brake bias forward one. It's not what you usually do in most cars, but I'm going for safety over speed. I'm checking the mirrors. Doesn't look like I'm on edge, but I bloody well am. Come on, turn. And there we go, full throttle on the way out when you know you can. That's the thing, I've not actually tested pit entrance in this thing, which is... how much fuel have I used? Because I might just come into the pits this lap. I think I did put a minimum mandatory, a minimum pit stop time of like 45 seconds on there. Just to spice things up for some of the later races. Because I think the 10 race calendar I made. Basically just choosing somewhat classic tracks that I like to drive. Well, I'm losing the back end there. Alright, so we're starting to get low on fuel. Yeah, the rear tyres are definitely starting to... Okay, in that case then. Definitely going to change the tyres as well. There we go, nice and steady on the brakes there. This thing does have a pit limiter on it, which is probably not accurate. Oh, back end stepping out slightly. That was actually a pretty nice pit entrance there. Fabcar in front. And stop. And yep, right. Ooh, the minimum total. Oh, it's a total pit stop time. So this might actually still. Yeah, okay. So the pit stops do actually take longer than that. Come on, go forward, please. Well, I just jumped the leader off the pits. I think I have. Oh no. Oh no, I forgot to brake for T1. That's nice and slow. We'll ignore that. So we should have enough fuel to last the rest of the race. One hope, anyway. Alright, let's try and set some nice laps. Nice consistent laps since I am out front. Let's show the rest of the field that I actually deserve to be here. And that I don't need to up the difficulty. I probably should have left it on 116 actually, but this is a relatively easy circuit. And it definitely suits this car. This car is the fastest around here. Didn't choose the car before, I mean I chose the car before I made the schedule. I just love the Fabcar. I mean, I was going to use the Skyline, but after a little bit of testing just before everything to try and determine difficulty, it just bogged down too much and I was just getting annoyed with it and just not pulling out of any corners. It seems like the car did not rev anywhere near as high as what it should rev. Oh no, I missed my braking point slightly. Yep, a little bit deep. I keep forgetting this thing is not the Audi R18, so I can just full throttle well before I'm pointing in a straight line. Of course, the turbo lag is just so prominent. Ooh, losing the back end slightly again. Just ease on the throttle and stamp on the brake. Make sure you actually blip. I'm not heel towing this thing. I cannot heel tow. I'm just not good enough. Don't have the dexterity in my feet. So just left foot braking. I would like to use my TH8A shifter for this car as well, but to be honest, I just can't be bothered to set it up. It is good to know that it's a sequential box and not just a 4-speed H pattern. Someone's setting a faster lap. Ooh, and I'm not paying attention. That could have been a very costly mistake. The back end getting very squirrely on the braking. I believe the qualifying actually determines the grid for both races. If I have set it up as I think I remembered, the qualifying, so your first fastest. I'm not sure if it does it as a. So there's the same grid for both races, or if it means that the second fastest qualifying time goes to the second race. I would hope it would be that one. But I can't remember if I did that or reverse grid. I may have potentially just done reverse grid. Probably about 3 laps left because I've got it on plus a lap. Love the exit out of that corner there. A little bit too early on the brakes there, I believe. Come on, you big old boats. That's better. Got to be careful on exit of that corner. I do seem to put the power down a little early and light the rear tyres up. Which just shows how much power and torque this thing does actually have. Because the rear tyres are fucking massive. Gotta be careful on putting my rear wheels on the AstroTurf there as well, on the green ground. Well, stuff does not offer the same grip that the nice grippy grey stuff does. Had to lift off there, otherwise I'd have probably been given a penalty. And I would have spun it as well, of course. Yep, so next lap by will be the white flag. So this will be the penultimate lap. Oh, I lifted too early. Thought I could try and get the Mauser to turn in. I really don't like how the car hits the rail limiter there. Nice and gentle on throttle around these two corners through Lesmo 1 and 2. There we go. Nice and on the power of that. The red Fabcar, the Coca-Cola car, is catching me up slightly. Although, yeah, I did mess up down the coming out of Parabolic, so that makes sense. I lost time all the way down the back straight. That was not the optimal line. Oh, I think I'm clear enough. Alright, so there's zero time left in the session, so this will be the white flag. Try and hook the front wheel into the curb there. On the power, nice and early. Ooh, getting a little squirrely. Just about saving it though. Not gonna lie, I did get confused there because it said the checkered flag. Oh no. So I was looking up at the checkered flag thinking this was race over, but obviously it's not. Let's not bottle it, come on. Shouldn't say checkered flag last lap, should it? That's just somewhat off-putting. Come on, Simbin. Is it Simbin? Oh, come on, RaceRoom anyway. Luckily, I think I've got enough of a gap. Just take it nice and steady. Oh, that's not good. Again, he's going to be gaining on rail down this straight. I am worried about the next race and fuel capacity. I'm just going to have to stretch it as long as possible. Might be a two-stop. Got a feeling it will be a two-stop. There we go, get the wheels hooked into the curb. Like you do at Monaco, coming down the hill. And there we go, guys. I believe, get in, that will be the checkered flag. There we go, lovely stuff. Mr. Howard winning it, ow, in the Dick Barber Fabcar, the Apple Motorsport livery, number 71 I think, can't quite see it from here, yep, number 71. So it looks like a Fabcar 1-2, and then Chevy Monza in third. That's what it looks like anyway, let's find out. Let's go to the... Yep, so I won it from someone Freihoff. Oh, it's gone too quick for me. Surprisingly, there is some Fabcars and Corvettes down near the back. I wonder what has gone on with them. Anyway, alright, so that will be... oh, there we go, another little podium to end it on. So that will be that, guys. Thanks for watching Race 1. Race 2 I'm going to record straight away. Well, I'm going to go, as in later today, I'm going to record Race 2. Just going to be one race per episode. So, yeah, because otherwise I don't want these races to be, well, I don't want these videos to be an hour long. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will hopefully see you in the next one. And on that note, bye.